Well, guys, I'm very sorry, but I have a confession to make. I've lied to you. I lied to you about something I said I would probably never do, and then I go out and do that thing. And I'm here to admit my wrongs, pay the piper, and be honest with you guys. And it has to do with this blade right here, the legendary URSUS 45 by White River Knives. Now, I have owned a version of the URSUS 45 in S35VN for a few years now, and since the day I got that model, it has become and has stayed consistently, even when other newer designs hit the market, one of the best belt knives, camp knives you can find. So well-rounded, so well-designed. We're gonna have some fun unpacking what that looks like and how it is performing. But I told you about a year ago when I heard that they were releasing a MagnaCut version that I had zero reason to do that. I had zero reason to get a MagnaCut version because the S35VN version worked so well for me, performed well. I've always viewed S35VN as kind of like the MagnaCut Lite. Before MagnaCut ever came onto the scene, S35VN was rust resistant, relatively easy to put an edge back on, durable, and had decent wear resistance. It was a good, really well-rounded steel. MagnaCut comes on the scene, just takes that up to 11. But I'm like, I'm a user. I don't need, just because it's like, ooh, the new spice is steel, I don't need to be going and getting a MagnaCut. So if you already own an URSUS 45 in S35VN, my video stated, don't go buy S35 or the new MagnaCut. There's really no reason to. It's like maybe I don't even know. I'm just spitballing here. 20% upgrade, like edge retention and durability maybe to S35VN. I'm sure someone's going to comment like, oh, well, mathematically, it's blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. Actual out in the field use. Well, here it is. I went and bought a MagnaCut URSUS 45. Against what I had said, I went and did it. And you may be like, why? So why were you dishonest with us in that video? The reason is this. It wasn't because the S35VN was not performing or I wanted like the MagnaCut to do better. It's because White River has retired the S35VN version. They're not making that anymore. It is discontinued in that steel. If you can still find it, it's going to be on discount. There's nothing wrong with that version. Now they're only manufacturing the MagnaCut version of this knife. And so for me as a gear reviewer, I found myself in the last couple months running in the URSUS 45, but having to say now it's MagnaCut. There's older, they don't, mine's S35VN, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, you know what? I found a deal on it. I went out and bought it because I was like, it just makes it easier for me to refer to this in the MagnaCut version moving forward, especially since the S35VN has been retired and is no longer being manufactured. So I apologize. I think you guys kind of understand, why I would get a MagnaCut version. So today we're just gonna go down memory lane, have a blast. I'm gonna take you guys back down the mountain to the Blade Boot Camp. That's where we'll meet up again. And we'll discuss what the URSUS 45 brings to the table just in general. Am I noticing that much of a difference with the MagnaCut? And just have a blast. So if you love knives, if you love the URSUS 45, or you're just wanting a premium American-made belt knife, stick around. It's gonna be some fun. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in and have a blast. All right, so we made it back. Just kind of hanging out with you guys today. I like kind of low-key videos like this. Leave a comment. Always appreciate it. If you want to support content creators like myself and people like me, because I'm sure I'm not the only person you subscribe to, and you want us to continue to be able to make content for you week in, week out, it's super easy. Just hit the like button and then subscribe. And make sure to leave a comment. Comment, even if it's like, cool blade, love it, it's awesome. Or this is the dumbest thing I've seen, next one, whatever it is, that tells the algorithm this is good content, people are engaging with it, send it to more people. So that's how we continue to, content creators like myself, continue to stay alive, because we're going upstream, man, here on YouTube. So big shout out, appreciate it. Shout out if you own an URSUS already and say which version, and especially if you own the DLT exclusive 3Vs. Okay, so why does this knife really fit in so many scenarios? Because for me personally, I would say the size range of knife that I use the most when I'm in the outdoors is 4 to 5 inches. A knife that falls in that size range is the one that I use the most. I feel like it has the most crossover capability. It's small enough that I can really do fine work. It's big enough that I can do a lot of kind of medium tasks. You know, if even with just a batoning stick, I can split down kindling if I need to, if I don't have a hatchet or an axe or a big chopper, and I can even side split. As long as I have one piece of wood to pound with, I can side split and fell a like lean-to size tree, like the size of your wrist, without much energy, and the knife can handle the impact. So now this blade shape is so ideal, and they chose really, I feel like, the perfect dimensions, literally, because a lot of older blades, especially from like 10 years ago using carbon steels, they were like 1/4 inch to 3/16 in the size range. That is thick. This is 0.156 or 5/32. Perfect. It's thick enough to give a little bit of weight, a little bit of heft, but it's not so broad and beefy that it can't cut and carve. This can slice, carve, do the finesse, do food prep because it doesn't have the coating on it. I don't have much of an issue with coatings for food prep unless you're like using this all the time. I mean, a weekend, a couple times a year, I mean, I'm not paranoid about it. But for those who are maybe are paranoid or think about it all the time or use their knife for food prep all the time, no coating, that helps. So that, in tandem with the high grind, means that you're getting sliceability but power at the same time, and durability. So it's this great blend. It's not overly heavy, like 7.5 ounces, something like that. So it's carryable. And this one is going to be 4.5 inches. You know, so at 4.5 inches with a 90-degree spine, so you can throw sparks if you want. That's not a deal breaker, but it definitely is an extra thing I look for and I appreciate with my outdoor tools. So all those things really coming together, durability, all that. Now, the second part would be handle ergonomics. Really good, and it's simple. And the rule of thumb with outdoor, especially knives, is simpler the better. It means that you have more grip points and more ergonomics for extended cutting. Is it as tactile and locks me into place as much as, say, this giant Recon 1 folder with these cutouts? No. I mean, I'm way more locked in for an aggressive pierce or slash, right? I might slide up and hurt myself with this if I was doing that, or more prone to that. But I don't want to go carve like a wood spirit or work with wood for an hour with this type of cutout. Whereas this allows me to do that because it's big, full in the hand. I got large size hands, you know, 3 1/4 knuck span right there. It just works, man. It just works. Now, with that said, it's not perfect. The one thing that if you have really broad hands or you do some whacking and thwacking and delimbing, is that exposed bird beak is not awesome. It's definitely gonna give a little bit of shock. You know, I do like a little pinky lanyard usually. I just haven't put one on yet to kind of keep it in place, and you'll feel it on your pinky, like thing, thing, thing. If you're like, you know, hacking, delimbing, stuff like that. That even, and it really showed up when I did the URSUS Cub. That's the little baby brother. I do not like this stock. I do not like this knife. I had to go get Lucas Carroll custom handles. Shout out to Lucas, to encapsulate that bird beak because it was riding right on my pinky. And now it's like, yeah, now I love the URSUS Cub. But it's not a huge deal on the full size, but on the mini, the Cub, it's not ergonomic without this. I don't enjoy carrying it. So that's a little, you know, critique there. Shout out to Lucas. I'll try and put his link over there. I think I have 15% off still over on his website, so you can go explore that. He does custom handle skills for all kinds of stuff, and Lucas is a super cool guy. And then finally, the sheath. You know, if you went to go get a custom Kydex built by somebody, like a custom Kydex maker, this sheath, and you were like, I want a pancake, I want all these features, I want a matching fire steel, you're paying $100, dude. You're paying $100 for what White River pumps out in your face right there. So pancake, matching fire steel. It's ambidextrous. They now updated. My old one had a leather loop. Now they do I can't remember who makes this. It's like a well-known like polymer. So it still gives you that dangle, but you can disconnect it, button, and then you can run it through Powell's webbing. Whereas I don't know if the other one was actually sized appropriately for that, or you take it off, you know, run it different ways, and a tension screw. I think the originals did not have that, but now they put a tension screw after I kind of highlighted that, if I remember. I'm sure I wasn't the only one that mentioned that, but I did mention it, and shortly after I started seeing tension screws on everything. Okay, so yeah, so let's talk value. I'll run in if I have a couple competitive options and why the URSUS just rocks. So I think I got this on a deal at Midway USA. They're going, I think now for like $270. Don't quote me on that. I'll put in some screenshots if I'm wrong, or, you know, whatever. So I'll have links. I'll have them in the description box below to the affiliate programs I partner with. And that's another simple way that you can help, you know, me continue to do what I do, is use those links if a design makes sense for you, regardless of this model or other stuff. That does really help me to buy blades like this. So at $270 for MagnaCut, American made, all the stuff, it's the one and done, dude. I mean, yeah, there are tons of other great blades in the size range. I'm going to be doing a video where I'm going to highlight like the top 5, you know, best camp knives of all time currently in 2026. And this is going to be on the list. And there are other great ones. I mean, you know, and depending on what you're looking for, this is kind of straightforward, but maybe you like something that's a little bit more aggressive, dude, like the South Pole Invenadius 4 Extra from TRC. I mean, this is going to be way more aggressive. Give me that index and really cool exotic steel. But maybe not, you know. The LT5. I had a little bit of input in the design of this thing. A2 steel. This one will be like $200 with my promo code. I'll try and link this one too. But I mean, this is like 5/32 big beefy blade. If you kind of like the Becker series, but you want A2 steel at like 61 to 62 HRC, or even 62, 63, I can't remember. I always forget it, but over 60 HRC. I mean, the wear resistance is insane on this. Rich light, you can customize them. Mind-blowing Kydex sheath, right? So, I mean, there are great blades out there, but if you just want like one and done, you're like, dude, I want a stainless steel, I want MagnaCut, I don't even want to think about it. The URSUS, I mean, there's Architects, you know, there's all this stuff, but it's like, just, dude, you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed with an URSUS 45 in MagnaCut. So, guys, that is me and my mileage. I want to know from you, your comments, your thoughts. If you already own those URSUS, throw them down. And if you're considering it and you're just like, I want heirloom quality blade that'll last me, you know, the rest of my life, potentially, and I could even gift to my kids. This is one of them. This is one of them, without a doubt. So, even in 2026, with all the new stuff coming out. So, till next time, check out the other videos, subscribe, and always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared. I'll see you out there.